We're going live. There we go. We are live. Hello, everybody. Welcome to this installment of the Ask Sean Hangout, which also doubles as my group coaching calls for my folks. They get first dibs on questions. After that, it's open to anybody else. This week, we are going to be doing a shortened hangout. It's only going to be about 25 minutes because I have a one-on-one coaching call that was scheduled prior to me scheduling these that are for that I need to get to. So having said that, we do have one first spoke in already, so why don't we go ahead. And Crystal, why don't you say hello to everybody and share with everybody a victory you had from this week.
Hello, everyone. My victory for this week is that I went ahead and upgraded to the VIP seating.
Excellent. Nicely done. Good job. Scheduling these. All right, just making sure that was working. Yeah, and if anybody's thinking about going VIP or not VIP, what was the deciding factor for you? What made you decide to go VIP?
Just because I was thinking about last time when I did go VIP and we got to go into the other room, and Alex was talking about this outsourcing program, and the person who was in charge of it got in front of the room and spoke about his experience. And I just realized that a lot of my concerns and objections with outsourcing were answered. And so that was a lot of really great information that was offered inside of the VIP last time. And so I'm just looking for more great information and that quality communication and being able to talk to people, hear their experience, and further develop those relationships. It was really, really worth it.
That is definitely one of the perks. It definitely pays off. Plus, if you continue education, there's usually a special something. So I'm glad that you went. I'm glad that you got so much value from that initial conversation or that initial special conversation just for the VIPs. And there is the VIP room, and there is that opportunity to meet some special guests that comes up. So that's going to be awesome. I'm glad you went. I appreciate it. So do you have any questions today?
Yes, I just kind of wanted to follow up. I didn't want to assume anything. So I've been getting emails regarding setting up some of those other websites, and the emails are asking me to confirm that the accounts have been set up. And so I'm wondering if that's something that the outsourcing partners are going to take care of, if I'm just getting the emails to kind of keep me in the loop since it's my email address.
If there's something that says click here to confirm, go ahead and click there to confirm. But a lot of it is just this is your login information. Keep it somewhere. Those you don't need to worry about. They're going to manage those. What I'm telling most people is just to go ahead and set up a file inside your email. I just have one called Elite Outsourcing, and anything I get along those emails, I just stick them all into that one file. So in case I need to ever refer back, but really all that's being done by outsourcing, so it shouldn't be an issue.
And then my other question is, I just wanted to follow up with creating a Google fan page. And I know on one of the videos you said we should do complete the profile 100%. And I'm at 75 right now. And when I click on it, it brings up that long link. And I'm not sure if there's anything I should do with it. I've already connected my profile from the membership site to my Google Plus fan page. So I don't know if that's a separate link or if I need to do anything with that.
Well, let's go ahead and see if I can find you on Google Plus. So when it's saying that you're only at a certain percentage, what's the piece that it's saying that is still missing?
It's giving me that long URL asking me to connect to a website.
Gotcha. So that once you've done that piece, if you added that URL into the dashboard of your membership site in the user profile area, it does take a little while for all that communication to happen. If that still pops up a week from now, go ahead and submit a help desk ticket, and we may just have to force something through, but that should be all you need.
Okay.
Yeah, it just takes a little time for your site and Google to communicate to each other.
Got it.
Cool. Those were easy questions. I like easy questions.
Well, you did a good job in your video. I'm like, well, I don't have too many questions. I just kind of want to double check everything.
Yeah, well, I just want to make sure that, and it's good. And that's what this is for. That's what these Ask Sean's on Tuesdays. Hopefully, you guys don't have a lot of questions, and we can wrap them up fairly quickly. I'm okay with that. These are going to be a little different than anybody else who's doing coaching. If you're getting coaching from your group calls. Your group calls are going to be a little differently formatted than my group's group calls, mostly just because of this this aspect of me being open and available to everybody inside the community, not just to my three folks. Because I know that if there are tech questions, you're supposed to be submitting them to the help desk, but to be all honest, 99% of the time I'm the one replying to them. So it's a chance to ask some questions here as well. And that's what these are for. I'm glad that the videos have been pretty clear and easy to follow along. You've set everything up that you need to set up. You've got everything in place. Did you go through and set up your Gravatar image yet?
That is on my list of things to do today.
Excellent. I know that I intentionally added it in as a challenge task this week to help motivate people to do that. I can look at the folks who have maximum points, and if they have maximum points but they don't have a picture, then I know that they actually are not doing all the tasks. They are just clicking off to try to get the points. There's other ways for me to check to see if people are doing the tasks as well as for coaches. But if there's not an image in the leaderboard, I know that you are not actually at maximum points. And for those people who might have just been clicking so they can be showing up towards the top of the leaderboard, know that we are aware if you are or not actually doing the tasks. So I just thought I'd share.
Yeah. I saw your email today. I was going through my emails, and that's where I saw it. You sent it a couple days ago or last week.
I did. I sent it last week, and then I also added it in as a task for this week, just to avoid any possible confusions that might be going on. The more I can over-communicate and get people the information they need, usually the better it's going to be. So I think that should be, hopefully that's helpful. So cool. So here's a thought, just as one of my folks going in. What is the is there anything you want to know that we haven't knowing that this is still only week 3 and we have a while to go, but it helps me to ask this question a lot of times. Is there anything that you want to know that you feel like you'd love to learn a little bit more about that I can try to make sure either that we cover inside the training or I can come up with some answers for you?
Not at this time. It's a great question, and I appreciate it. And if I think of anything, I can make a list and just let you know during our next hangout.
Cool. Yeah, I love to ask that question because ultimately, I mean, I'm giving you the information I know that works, that you need to know. If you don't know how to add content and if you don't know how to do social media, your site's not going to be successful. So that's the reason why we started. Like, first of all, you have to actually know the site that you've been given, hence the tour the first week. Then social media is second and content's third. That's the reason we started with that is the first 3 weeks. And then we're going to continue to progress with some more information and things like that as time goes on. But I love to ask that question because it does help me get a better feel of how I can best serve folks. So, and the challenge, it's making sense. The videos, technically everything's working. The videos are all playing, all that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Good. That's also always my concern. I want to avoid any technical problems or challenges ahead of time if we can. So keep submitting tickets to help desk if people have. I'm talking. I know you're in here, and I could be talking directly to you. Oh, hey, Virginia just came in. But I'm also talking to anybody who might watch this because I did post this event, or I shared this event inside the community. So if somebody wants to come back and watch later, that question does exist for everybody. If there's something that we haven't covered yet, you want to know. Know that we're not going to answer every single question throughout the training. We're giving you, I mean, really probably a year's worth of training in membership sites in 9 weeks. It's impossible to cover absolutely everything you might ever want to know, but we're giving you the information you need to know in order to be successful, and that's what's going to be in the training. But if there are things, if somebody's like, you know, this is a piece I'm confused on, I need to hear that so I can better support folks. So that's helpful for me. Virginia, welcome to the Hangout. I want to check in with you and also see, first of all, what's a victory from this week? What's one thing you want to celebrate?
Well, I want to celebrate that I got my first video in on Wednesday while I was on vacation. So I feel darn good about that.
Nicely done. Good job. That's it. And that's we know that's going to be a challenge, and we know that's going to be a challenge for you and for a lot of folks in the challenge. That idea of having us get in front of a camera and make a video can be a bit beyond their comfort zone, and this is the idea. You've got to learn to be able to do that, because that is a major aspect of marketing. So I'm glad that you were able to do it, even on vacation. That's awesome. And just so everybody knows, for you who are doing outsourcing in the videos, Video 1 and Video 2 are due at 5 p.m. on this Friday. If they're not in, you may find out that a certain page has gone away, or a certain couple pages have gone away. So we're serious about that deadline. You want to make sure you get your stuff in. So there's that. Any other questions? Anything that you want to ask about? I know that we're going to wrap up this group call, this Ask Sean hangout, early, because I have a one-to-one hangout with somebody very important to get to at 2:30. But I wanted to first see if you have any general questions here that I can help you with.
I did. So I was trying to figure out which ones would be most appropriate for our private. And these are just maybe some things that I want to learn about, and so maybe they would be appropriate for other members of the group. But for one thing, how about backing up our material? Is there something that we should be doing to make sure that everything that we're putting into the site is backed up?
That you don't need to worry about, because it's also how all the content ultimately gets housed in on servers. You guys are accessing your sites virtually, but they're all stored within our servers, and that's taken care of by Eric and the SBC team, because that's all housed within our servers. So there's nothing special you need to be doing for backing up your content. I do still recommend that if you write an article, I love keeping it as a Word document and keeping a file of all the content I put in that way. It's not necessarily formally backing up, but I love having it just because it's instead of having to then pull it back out of the site for content. If I'm writing a book, I know people who've done this before where they wrote a ton of articles. I mean, I'm actually the #1 article writer in the category of manifestation on eZine. And what I'm doing is taking all of those articles I ever wrote on manifestation, I've given it to an author or somebody I'm hiring, and they're going to take all those articles and turn it into a book based on everything I've written. But instead of saying go to eZine and find all these, I just have them all as Word documents, and I just sent them that whole set. To me, it's a great thing to do anyway if you're going to write it out. I like to write my posts out in Word first, and then put them into the site, and then edit them and make them look all cutesy using the WYSIWYG stuff afterwards. That's a technique I use, and then I already have that as a Word document in a file of all of these in a category. That's the kind of backup I would do. I mean, if you're doing audio, if you're adding audio into the site, you already have the audio as a file somewhere. Same thing with a video. But written stuff, I like to write it in Word first, and then bring it over. And it may lose some of the formatting, but then I'm going to clean it up anyway as the post or as the page. And the reason I like that is, like I said, it's great that you have them all in one spot, so if you ever want to repurpose all of it in one giant chunk, you've got an easy way to do it.
Okay.
So that's the only thing I would recommend in that.
Will you be teaching how to time-release material, such as what you are doing? Because I'm thinking of the same idea. This site right now is, like, to me, too much of a conglomeration of stuff. And I want it to be easy to follow, step by step, how to move from total novice into someone who's really marketing Hangouts effectively for their business.
So it sounds like you want to be able to offer a similar step-by-step daily task challenge approach to assisting people in delivering this.
Right.
Stay tuned.
Okay.
The answer I'll give you is stay tuned, because yes, we are going to cover that. I'm checking some programming behind the scenes to make sure it's present in everybody's dashboards. But once I'm confirmed on that, you'll be getting it. It'll probably be the last third of the challenge where you'll learn to do that, and in part because there's some things that we need to have in place prior to you getting there. So know that, yes, it's in the works, and know that it'll happen at a time that's appropriate.
Okay. Videos. I've uploaded a video, and I'm wondering about the way it's uploaded. It seems to come in just one size. And I think it would be nice to be able to upload a video and choose what size you want it to be. I'm sure there's a way to do that. For me, I'm looking at the videos that you do, and I have to enlarge all of them. And I would rather have it be a larger format in the beginning.
Are you uploading them from YouTube? Are you storing all your videos on YouTube and then uploading them into the site that way?
I have been, but I also have some that I have up on Amazon S3, so I'll be using some of those as well.
So the answer is it's two different things, is the answer. One is so for YouTube, you could be putting the stuff into the site using the V after P trick, which I think was part of what we had in pre-training.
That's what I did.
Other side of that, and I'm going to just show this really quick because I think this will make a little bit more sense. I'm going to just find a random YouTube video. I have a lot. So let's do this one. It's a 9-minute group call, sure. So I'm going to do a quick screen share and show you this concept. The other thing that you can do is, if I can find the right one, is that your smiling mug on there? Yep, I love it. So we're going to go ahead and do a screen share. You can, instead of doing the V after P trick, what you can actually do is inside YouTube, you can go to share and embed and copy this embed code. And in the embed code, you can actually choose what size you want it to be by changing the video size here. That changes the embed code piece here.
Perfect. That's just what I had in mind.
But when you're posting this inside your membership site, you have to put this code in the HTML tab, not the Edit tab.
Can you show me that?
I absolutely can. I'm going to log into my membership site. One of my membership sites. Let's see if that's got the right memory. Nope, I got to do RoboForm instead. It should be this one. See if it works. It does. All right, so let's say I'm adding content. I'm going to add new content. Blah, 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 video. Amazing info about the video. Add a video here. Call to action after the video. So I'm in the visual tab editing this right now. Let's say I wanted to take this in the big format of 1280 by 720. I just copy this field here, go into my text, and I absolutely recommend typing it out where you say add video here. Because now all I do, because otherwise you have to know HTML code, I just go to text, highlight that, and paste the video code that I took from YouTube, and now in visual you'll see that the video exists there.
That's easy.
Yeah, so type wherever you want. So when you're making your thing, and I'm just going to delete this again so we can walk through it one more time. When you're making your thing, you're going to type everything you want in and say, I can make this bold and underlined, and I can make this one italics and centered. What the heck? But I want to have the add video here. Now when I go to the text page, you'll see there's a bunch of gobbledygook here, which is HTML coding you don't need to know, but you'll see where it says add video here. Once again, I highlight it, paste the code I got from YouTube, and then the video's in there. I would hit publish, and now the video would be embedded in whatever size I chose. This is 1280 by 720, which is massive. I would usually not go above. I like the 640 for 360, but because of some of the coding for the challenge, I have to go with the smaller video for you guys because of the way it's designed. That's all.
Now, if you do it that way, are you not going to be able to see I don't want to post a video and then have someone see other suggested videos. Just by leaving that one box unchecked on YouTube, will that make sure that they're just seeing your video and nothing else?
Correct. Where it says show suggested videos when the video finishes, make sure that's not checked.
Okay.
If it's checked, it'll show them. If it's unchecked, it won't.
So the only advantage to using the V after the HTTP is that the site itself recognizes that as a video and puts it automatically into video format for you with a pre-assigned size to it?
Yeah, it basically is just the lazy man's way of doing that. It does make your life a little easier. That's all.
Okay.
But you can do, and the honest side is, we never want anyone going into the text page because we don't want anybody unless you know HTML code, you get overwhelmed on this text tab. And we didn't want to have to teach people HTML coding because that just freaks people out. So instead, we just tell people to go to the visual, and we showed them how to put it in there using the visual tab. That's all.
Okay.
We just want to keep people away from HTML code as much as possible because otherwise it's disturbing. So this is what happens when you put in the 12,000 video, or the 1,200 size video. It's massive. But that gives you the idea.
Hey, I love it. My vision ain't what it used to be, so that's nice for me. Especially if you're demonstrating something, you know, on the computer, you're doing some kind of a screenshot, it really helps to have it larger.
Yeah, and there's some things that you can do from the perspective of zooming in, and depending on what your software is that you're using, there's other little tricks you can do too. I use Camtasia, and I could zoom in on some things. That's why you'll see a lot of things there's highlighted, or especially if I'm showing you where to click on the navigation, you'll notice it kind of zooms in that little circle. That's all done intentionally.
Yeah, that's done out of Camtasia.
Yeah, exactly. I use Camtasia. It works for me. There's other systems out there, but it's just the one I use for making all the training videos I do for you guys. So.
Okay.
All right. And there was a great question because it's a good tip for somebody else who might want to know that.
I have one more question that I think would be pertinent to everybody, and that is about posting. I just put up an audio. And it was from a podcast that I thought was interesting and valuable, and I wanted to know if I need permission to put permission from the the originator of that to be able to post it. Number one on the blog, or number two on the private members area.
If it's going to be in private members area, I recommend always reaching out and saying, because what you're basically doing is getting somebody to pay for access to content that isn't yours. So I always like to reach out and say, I found this blog post really interesting. I loved your podcast. Can I share it? The other side, so it depends on how.
Offered an embed code. So if an embed code's already offered there, I thought, well, gee, they must want me to be sharing this.
And in that case, it's absolutely, that's like YouTube. All videos on YouTube you can post anywhere because if they have an embed code. So you can make videos not embeddable, but that's a whole other story. But this at least gets you that. So if they're including it, I would say that's fine, especially if you're going to be using their stuff multiple times. I always like to just, for no other reason than if they have quality content that's related to you, it's a great possible partner for you in the future.
Mm-hmm.
So I like the idea of reaching out. I mean, if it's just one time, you've never seen this person, but it happened to be this great thing that you want to use. To me, that's okay. But if they have the embed code, if you're using like secret magic tricks to be able to download the audio from the page, that's a whole different story. But if they're giving you a code to say, please share this, that's a different. Then it's clearly that they're okay with that. But if it's somebody who's got an audio and it's protected, but you still know the secret tricks for that, then you're not being an ethical person.
No, I would agree, and I am giving them credit as well.
And always, if you ever pull any content from anywhere, you always give credit. You want to put a link at the end saying, and I want to thank this person. I got this information from this site, and you link back to them. That's always important.
Good.
Cool. Any other last questions before we wrap up today's abbreviated Ask Sean so that Sean can get into his very important one-to-one call that he has to do?
Did you find out because I don't know if anyone else, where's that sheet?
I don't have that answer to your question. We'll talk about it, but I don't have an answer yet.
Okay. I'm done.
Awesome. We'll talk about that one on the one-on-one.
Okay.
And I'll let you kind of, yeah, that's fine. Crystal, last chance. Any last comments, last words?
Nope, I appreciate your help.
Sure. Virginia, last comments, last words before this ends?
No, just keep putting out great content, Sean.
All right. That I can do. So you'll get more stuff every week, which is good. I'm going to wrap up this hangout really quick. So cheers for now, everybody.